Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Today on the show, we have the president and CEO of Carlyle Commodities, Morgan Good. Morgan's joining us today to share his thoughts on the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and what it means for precious metals, gold's recent price action. He's also going to give us an overview of Carlyle Commodities. He will talk about their drill results, the company's share structure, future plans for drilling, as well as the major catalysts to be watching out for near term with Carlyle Commodities. Hey, Morgan, welcome to The Dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Cassandra. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, so Morgan, let's start off with macro. We have the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in the headlines. What do you think bank failures mean for the precious metals market?
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. Obviously, it's a pretty sort of sad story to be watching, but at the same time, it's providing an opportunity for those that are seeking hard assets and precious metal opportunities for investment. So, it's been a pretty tough ride for the precious metal sector the last several years, and I think that the gold and silver space in particular have a huge opportunity here amidst uncertainty, which is obviously what's going on the last week or two. So I think that Carlyle boasting a 100% ownership of a very, very advanced exploration gold asset in Canada sets up a great opportunity for new investors.
Now, speaking of gold has moved up above $1,900. What do you view as the key price levels for gold?
Well, it's depends on your jurisdiction, but again, being in Canada, I think is hugely favorable. 1,800 and 1,850 plus is really, it's economical. Again, depending on logistics specifically to your country. We're in the south central part of British Columbia, which is rolling flat hills. We're not up in the middle of the Golden Triangle, at which many people distinct British Columbia to. So our cost for exploration and development is significantly lower, like less than 50%. The cost of many of these other sort of exciting spots to the north. So, I think these prices around 1,900 are extremely bullish for Carlyle, but I see a much higher gold price over the coming, 24 months, 36 months. So I think we're in a great spot today.
Let's talk a little bit more about Carlyle Commodities. Could you give us the high-level overview of the company?
Absolutely. Carlyle's a junior exploration company listed on the CSE in Canada, ticker CCC. We have one strict focus, and that is the Newton Gold Silver Project, which we own 100% of. The project's been drilled, approximately 35,000 meters of historic drilling. More than $25 million has been spent drilling the project. Most of that was between 2009 and 2012 by the previous vendor who we purchased the project from. And then it sat dormant the last 8 years until we acquired it. And obviously predicting a macro environment in precious metals, as I just alluded to. So we have a 43-101 inferred resource of just under 1 million ounces of gold and just under 5 million ounces of silver. And we believe there's huge potential to expand on that resource, possibly multi-million ounce type of situation if we can develop it out over the next couple of years. And that's our focus.
Who do you view as being comparable to your project?
Very good question. There's really one great there's several good analogs in BC. There's a geological trend or corridor up the sort of south central part of the province. Many projects are very similar. As the Newton project is this low sulfide epithermal gold system, sort of an open pit type of scenario, and most notably the Blackwater project, which is a 12 million ounce gold deposit. Owned by Artemis Gold, which is on nearly $1 billion market cap, is really a great analog. It's a very similar project, same geological terrain, same mineralization, same host rock, which is key, same alterations, same grades. And so, if you rewound Blackwater, 11, 12 years ago, when they were sort of discovered, it was sort of a 1 to 2 million ounce deposit then, and they developed it up to 12 million. I think that the Newton puts up a good argument to be sort of an early stage Blackwater. And I think a lot of people should be comparing the two.
You've mentioned that you're strictly focused on the Newton Gold Silver Project. Can you share your exploration strategy and how does it differ from your competitors?
Well, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the project's really, we've only scratched the surface. It's 1 million ounces, but we know this is huge. It's a huge potential ore body. It's really never been drilled below about 400 or 500 meters. So the 1 million ounces that we have today sort of sits in a bit of a semicircle from surface. And we just recently finished our first drill campaign where we were targeting some potentially mineralized zones at depth. And that was really the first thesis. It was to prove, okay, this thing is a lot deeper and a lot larger than we know. And if you saw our recent drill results this week, you'd see that we so far we have proved that thesis, that there is mineralization quite a bit deeper than before. So that's our strategy, is to show that this thing can expand to depth, and it's open in many other directions as well. So that will be sort of the phase 2 drilling strategy, which will come later this spring.
So speaking of your drill results from the Newton Gold Silver Project in British Columbia, could you walk us through the results? And based on the results, do you have plans to ramp up drilling?
Yeah, so we drilled about 2,000 meters. It was about an 8-week program that started in early January and finished a couple of weeks ago. We just published the assays on our first hole. It was a 3-hole program. The first hole was a 1,000-meter hole, so a kilometer hole, to test right through the depth of the deposit from surface. The key is to sort of drill in what we hope to believe is the right host rock. It's a felsic volcanic unit. It's the same as Blackwater. That's what's historically held all the gold and silver credits from all the previous drilling at Newton, as well as Blackwater. So the core was in that felsic unit basically all the way down to 1,000 meters. So we announced just a couple of days ago 689 meters of 0.51 grams per ton gold. That's an incredibly long intercept at the right average grade that shows that this mineralization goes down almost more than double of what we knew historically. So right off the bat, we can prove that this thing is huge, it's deep. And so we're awaiting assay results on our holes 2 and 3, which we're expecting hopefully next week or the week after, which will tell us a little bit more of the story.
Let's talk about your share structure. The company has less than 25 million shares outstanding and has a market cap of less than 5 million at the time of this filming. Do you see your stock price as undervalued right now?
Without question. We pride ourselves on keeping a clean capital structure, which is why we love the fact that we only have 25 million shares out right now. I think we financed the company in Q4 of last year and used those dollars wisely to sort of get to this place after phase 1 of drilling. We'll see what the assays from holes 2 and 3 tell us. But I know full stop that this is a 5 million market cap Canadian trading at 15, 20 cents. Is a incredible opportunity, very undervalued, especially the fact that we own 100% of this project. No one can take it away from us. There's no option payments, no stock issuances, nothing of that kind. So it's very undervalued.
Okay, so last question here for you, Morgan. Are there any events or milestones that investors should keep an eye on over the near term?
Well, near-term catalysts and milestones will be the next set of results over the balance of March into early April. But we're able to, it's workable year-round, and we've got crews and people standing by. So we're planning to get back out there probably around the month of May for a phase 2 program, which it will be hopefully a lot more robust and can test a lot more of the exciting high-priority zones that we're looking for. And I think those are all great opportunities to be giving some urgency to the market to own Carlyle stock before any of that happens.
Okay, sounds great. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing the company's story with us, Morgan.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Nice to meet you guys.
To our audience at home, thank you so much for tuning in today. We will be back again tomorrow, so hit that notification bell and subscribe below if you enjoy this kind of thing.